video, that like, subscribe. I wanted to make a video tonight. I've only got back from work about half an hour ago, and I had to get this video out because it was just really annoying me. So earlier today, I checked the internet, Google, YouTube, for anything Electroneum related, and then I see these two videos pop up, and they're videos claiming Electroneum to be a scam, basically. And so I had to check it out. I wanted to do my video reply straight after it, but I had to go to work. But yeah, there's some pretty serious accusations in it with absolutely no proof whatsoever. I've never seen such malicious. It's just malicious content to put out there, basically. It was by this YouTuber mainly, called Viking Ray, 1,500 subscribers, and the way he put this video together was absolutely appalling. I'm not going to play it for you now. If you want to play it, go ahead and give it a watch. But I've noted down some notable points which which he says, and then I'm gonna call out what he says and give my reasons behind why it's bullshit, basically. So at the very start of the video, he talks about how YouTubers pumping the coin should feel amazing that they've basically got people to buy into a scam coin, which for a start, YouTubers always put disclaimers saying that they're not investment traders or anything like that, so it's actually down to the investor. It's not down to the YouTuber. They're just simply giving information based off speculation, and then he goes and does the same thing, and puts that disclaimer saying that he's not a financial advisor or anything. So that's where your first addiction comes into place. He goes on to claim that he does deep, in-depth investigations over companies. He literally went onto Electroneum there and there on the video and started scrolling about, not knowing where anything is. And you'll see a bit later on, when I get to one of my later points, how that links in, because he doesn't do in-depth investigations. He literally wings it on the spot, which you'll see. And then it comes down to the mobile miner claiming to mine, but not actually mining. Let me quickly just bring up OBS on my main camera, because you don't actually need to be on his video now. He claims that the mobile miner does not actually have the ability to mine, and that basically Electroneum lied to all of its community, investors, etc. When actually everybody knew that the mobile miner was a simulation. And the reason why they've done it as a simulation is because basically what company or organisation wants thousands of their users to then start complaining about their phones overheating and breaking. In terms of the actual mining, yeah, a smartphone can have the ability to mine, but one, it will deplete the battery, and guess what? People use their smartphones for more than just mining. They need it to be able to get a hold of people. They scroll Facebook, they browse the internet, they play games. And if a mobile miner was actually for real, then your phone battery would be depleted in an hour, with all the processing power that it does. So an actual mining, a real miner, wouldn't have worked. Nobody would have liked it. Nobody would have used it, because the rewards would have been very little, and the fact that you have to literally keep your phone on charge all day, which is not good for your battery, and then it shortens the lifespan of your smartphone as well. Same as graphics cards. The lifespan of a graphics card is shortened heavily when you use it non-stop to mine, because it's constantly working and it's constantly heating up and you're constantly having to cool it. Smartphones don't have the cooling capabilities as what graphics cards do. So there's another contradiction to it. Like the simulation of mining is better for the mass market, because it's getting people into cryptocurrency. That's the whole point. And they've just completely misinterpreted it and made it out to be like it's some massive lie, when Electroneum were open and honest about it. Which leads me back to the I do in-depth research. Well, clearly you don't. Clearly you don't do in-depth research. Otherwise you would know that. And actually it's a really good marketing thing, the mobile miner. And the mobile miner isn't Electroneum's main product. Their main product is the fact that they're a microtransaction system, that they're soon going to be accepted by mobile carriers. That is the end product, being able to use Electroneum for transactions, for buying things. And then he goes on to show someone else's video, Wally Martinez, and basically all he talks about is that he's pissed nobody wants a simulation of a miner and that they want a real miner. In terms of that, I go back to my point before. A real miner wouldn't work in this scenario because nobody would use it, because it would deplete their battery and it will shorten the lifespan of their smartphone. The simulation is so much better for mass market. What's my next point? And then this Wally Martinez goes on to say, with the Electroneum probably had to switch out to do a simulation miner instead of a real miner because they couldn't do it. Well, actually, it's probably harder to set up a virtual miner because you have to make it pretend. Like, the Electroneum mobile miner uses benchmarks from your smartphone, so it has to receive a benchmark from your smartphone to then give it a hash rate to then start awarding ETN. Whereas all the mining code's ready. All you've got to do is make it compatible with a smartphone, which for Electroneum, CPUs are compatible. So I don't know why. Well, it just makes that comment completely useless. On to the next part. I'm trying to be quick, but I've managed to pick apart 3 pages worth of what they said, which is just utterly untrue. Here's a good one. They claim to sell your information to companies. He literally says in his video, and you can check it out. I'm not gonna play it now, but you can check it out in his video. Electroneum are selling your information to make money. What evidence? He shows absolutely no evidence of it. It just shows the breadth and depth is absolutely fucking nonsense. Excuse my language. And then he goes back to Wally Martinez, who then puts out another video that states that he knows why Electroneum is using this mobile miner, and that is to steal processing power, like how, I don't know if you remember a while ago, Starbucks got into the media because when you connected to their Wi-Fi, they were stealing people's processing power on their smartphones. If that was the case, then the mobile miner would deplete a lot more battery than what it would do. I mean, I can leave my mobile miner mining for hours, and it barely depletes battery. It uses next to no battery, and it uses next to no data. So there's just no physically possible way that Electroneum is stealing processing power. Otherwise, you'd notice that in the performance of your smartphone. You wouldn't be able to perform anything else on your smartphone. Whereas on the Electroneum mobile miner, you can have it running in the background, yet you can still multitask and do everything else. If it was stealing processing power, then 1, the phone's RAM won't be able to keep up, and you won't be able to multitask as many things. And the CPU, because the CPU only has a certain amount of cores, and it can only allocate a certain amount of cores to each task given. So it will slow down. Surely it would slow down, but it doesn't. So that's another point to pick apart. And then the next one, I'm gonna switch back to the webcam and go on to this article here, claiming that 500,000 computers infected in 12 hours mining Electroneum. Now, I'm not saying that this article isn't correct, because I don't know if it's correct. I don't know. But the fact that what's the guy's name? Viking Ray, in it. Yeah, Viking Ray. Put in his title 500 investors hacked or something like that. The simple fact that there's 500,000 computers infected whilst mining Electroneum, that's to do with the mining pool. It's not necessarily Electroneum's fault. They're saying that 73% of it was in Russia, 18% in Turkey, 4% in Ukraine. But for a start, if there were 500,000 computers mining Electroneum non-stop, then our circulating supply would be a lot higher than what it is now. It would have probably already reached the 21 billion, which leads me to believe that this is it's quite shady. Because if you think on a smartphone, you can mine an Electroneum a day. If you've got 500,000 computers, high-end computers, mining Electroneum, that's literally mining millions and millions of Electroneum a day. And there's only 21 billion coins in circulation, so it's a shady number, because, like I said, the circulating supply would be a lot higher if there was 500,000 computers mining Electroneum, which I do not believe for a second that there's 500,000 computers mining Electroneum solely. Not a chance. But that's not to say that this didn't happen. I'm just saying that, one, because I'm sure it mentions NiceHash on here. Yeah, the coin miner is believed to be NiceHash, but apparently it was geared towards Electroneum. But I don't really believe that. And if NiceHash was infected, like, remember how they were hacked a while back and had such and such amount of Bitcoin stolen, that was massive news. And the fact that this post is literally only on this website, it is nowhere else, literally nowhere else. Like, CoinDesk, they've not covered it. The financial one hasn't covered it. There's literally no other cover for this story, which leads me to believe that there's something wrong there. I'm not saying that it's not happened, because I don't know. But personally, I don't believe that it is how exactly it says it is. And then I keep forgetting his name, because I don't really want to remember his name, because he's a bit of a knob. But Viking Ray, he's made it out like 500,000 investors of Electroneum were hacked. Well, that's half of all of our investors, and nobody on the Electroneum community group's been on the community Facebook page and complained about it. No one said anything about it. I've not been hacked, so I don't know where that's come from. Saying information. And then later on in the video, he goes on to say about team members. Like, he goes onto the website and starts saying, well, it's, and you know what, I will go back to this, and I'll go on Electroneum's website, because he starts going on about how Electroneum's website it's meant to be simple, it's meant to be easy for new people to get into. What is more simple than this website right here? You've got a login, create account, support, blog, home. And then he starts going on about where's the team, where's the link to send you to the team, because he couldn't find it. And then later on, he scrolled down, and funnily enough, he found it right here at the bottom. And then he kind of starts backpedaling then, and then he goes into the meet the team, and he starts insulting Richard Ells by saying, oh, he starts reading this. He goes, Richard has a story of building successful digital businesses. And then after that sentence, he says, what businesses? What businesses? And then I'm just thinking, just carry on reading and you'll fucking find out, you knob cheese. He co-founded the successful digital agency Site Wizard, which is, yeah, fair enough. And then, because he doesn't think, this Viking Ray doesn't think when he talks. He doesn't take in chunks of information and then processes it. He just says what's on his mind without thinking. And another reason why I think that is because he goes in to start insulting James Atkinson, calling him a baldy World of Warcraft player. Like, well done for using that common stereotype for a developer. Those that are into computers, they're instantly World of Warcraft players. And he's saying Dean Cole, calling him Bucktooth, and it's just unprofessional. It's not what people want to hear. It's just rude, and quite frankly, you'll know if you look at his video and you look at his hairline, he can't talk. He's receding quite badly, and that's not really something I wanted to add into my video. But the whole point is that he's targeting people with insults that he doesn't need to be doing. I mean, what have these people done to him? Absolutely nothing. They're trying to provide this amazing project to the masses, and he's there basically spreading FUD with this Wally Martinez without doing any in-depth research, even though he claims to do in-depth research, and starts insulting people, and it's just not acceptable. And then he goes on to say that there's YouTubers on the pay sheet to help promote to promote Electroneum, and then he says that he can name them, but he doesn't name them because, quite frankly, he doesn't know. Of course he doesn't know. He's blowing smoke. That's all he's doing. He's just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. That's literally it. He literally holds no knowledge about it. He holds no knowledge about blockchain technology. He holds no knowledge about marketing. He holds no knowledge about cryptocurrency. So, and to think he's got 1,500 subscribers, like it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, and then later on in the video, he goes on to say that that it's not a user-friendly interface. It couldn't be easier. It couldn't be easier. If I go back to Electroneum Home, like literally, he scrolls to the bottom here and then goes, "Oh, is that it?" I was like, "It's a home page. Do you want it to go forever?" Like, he was confused that Meet the Team was at the bottom here in small writing. Like, it's just one of the useful links. It's not that small. It's easy to find. And let's, for argument's sake, go to Amazon. Let's go to the bottom. Look at that. All of the useful links at the bottom. Every website does it. So clearly he holds no knowledge about web design either. So I don't really understand, because he's literally just backpedaling and then just coming up with random stuff on the spot, which you can clearly see in his videos. He wings it. He goes, "Where's the partnerships? Where's the partnerships?" You can see agreement signed with Sias. HackerOne comes in to audit Electroneum. FRTL, B Media, Hit BTC confirmed as an exchange. Unified. Like, they're there in plain sight for you to see, and he's choosing to ignore it because he's not done in-depth research, and it just really pisses me off because there's 940,000 people now signed up to Electroneum. 940,000. That's almost 1 million people. What other cryptocurrency is doing this? Apart from maybe Bitcoin at the moment because it's the most known. None. It's absolutely ridiculous. Actually, I'm not going to say none because I don't want to, because there are some really good other projects out there which have good amounts of interest, but it's just it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm not gonna. I just really hope that the 2,000 people that have watched that video didn't take it seriously, because I didn't take it seriously, because his video was put out like it was a bag of shit, basically. Excuse my language. It wasn't put together professionally. He didn't do in-depth research, which he clearly shows in the video. And yeah, I just had to respond to it. That's all I'm going to go into today. Another video is coming out tomorrow in regards to a new email that's been sent out to the Electroneum holders. So yeah, I'm going to cover what's going on in that email. If you like the video, please leave it a like. If you love the video, please leave it a please subscribe. And I'd like to apologise for the negative behaviour from Viking Ray, who just didn't think before putting that content out there, because somebody had to respond to it, so I thought I should respond to it. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, peace out, and I'll see you in the next video.